All right, everyone, it is time for the inaugural Saturday show. Yes, indeed, I have begun to do 2 streams, I think, a week. Again, YouTube, Twitch, Rumble. We'll see if I add other platforms. I do want to get back on Odyssey, but keep in mind I have to pay for an advanced version of StreamYard to do that. We're waiting while some people get aboard here, and I've got to wait to see if Rumble takes the stream. Chat's working. That's usually a good sign. Please wait till your video finishes processing. I think it's already processed. We're going to wait and see. Please stand by. Let's see. Is it actually live? Come on. Yes, indeed, I am now live on Rumble as well. Always a good decision. So yes, this is a Super Chat Q&A, but it's also me talking about a few news items. I'm thinking about the possibility, do one of the weekly streams as Super Chat Q&A, do the other one as just straight up I'm rambling. I'm thinking about that. I'm also thinking about gaming streams because I've gotten back into SimCity 3000, unlimited, of course. The the base game, not quite so good, and some others. I don't know, I like to play Skyrim. I know some people consider that basic bitch mode. Lots of people already on Twitch piling in, I see. Hello and good morning all from Bedwa Blackburn. Hello, Tarl, TM with horns. Hello to you too. What are you drinking, Sticks? Well, I have my lime drink, of course, in my BitChute mug. You have to have that. Well, I have to turn it around. Ta-da! The juice of 1 lime squeezed into cold water. It's good for the throat and keeps you from getting scurvy. I figure I'm a pirate, so, you know, it's important. Anyway, we do have some news items to talk about. First and foremost, Trudeau's thugs up in Canada, up in Ottawa, are trampling people and arresting truckers, vandalizing property, breaking the windows of trucks, etc. That's unfortunate, although there are thousands of people that are still holding the line there in Ottawa, actually, as we speak. They're still protesting. It's just that they're being cleared out stage by stage. This kind of massive response under the emergency orders that Trudeau has invoked, this is effectively unprecedented as far as Canada goes. I like it when people say, well, this will be a cautionary tale for the U.S., you know, who will invoke the emergency orders? The DC police might. Most states would stand with the truckers. I also like it when they're saying, well, it's a right-wing conspiracy. Okay, it's funded by foreign groups. Who cares? It doesn't matter. It's a fight for justice. It's a fight for liberty. Dr. Zaodin with the first super chat here. Any thoughts on the police state cracking down on the truckers in Canada? Yes, I will be giving plenty of thoughts about that. And Dano, I'm not advocating here, but Trudeau needs to be careful not to get himself. I can't read that. Yeah, that would be bad. It'd be against YouTube's terms of service to talk about someone getting Minecrafted. We also have a super chat over on Rumble, and keep in mind when I do this, Rumble still has not fixed the feature where it automatically goes to the bottom every time someone comments. So bear with me. It takes me a little bit longer to do any super chat things over on Rumble, where over 100 people are already watching. By Greg Mayo. What's New Hampshire like, Sticks? I may have to claim refugee status by fleeing south. New Hampshire is wonderful. It is the better version of Vermont in most manners. Although it is technically higher tax, other than there's no sales tax. Property taxes and stuff, I think, are higher there, actually. But it's more pro-gun. It's more pro-liberty. You've got the Mises people taking over the state Libertarian Party, and actually they're beginning to take over the Vermont Libertarian movement, although it's not nearly as large. Tear gassing the protesters, says Christy Liebel. Yeah, well, tear gas is fairly standard. I think the truckers will do better against the onslaught by Trudeau's thugs than Antifa would, but Antifa would never face such an onslaught. If these people, if the truckers were trucking for racial justice, Trudeau would be there meeting with them and taking the knee right now, just to be clear. And everyone asking me about my thoughts on the convoy. I support the truckers. I think that they're in the right. I think history will remember them that way. They're not doing anything wrong. So far, most of the violence is due to Trudeau's thugs. They're riding horses through people, doing crazy shit. We also have to talk a little bit about Biden continuing to warmonger. But that's kind of secondary. Everyone's all eyes on Ottawa at the moment. How long until we see the Canadian police make Sharpeville look like a joke? Yeah, the Canadian police don't appear to have much restraint, probably because the people of Canada gave up their AR-15s, so to speak. Very, very sad. Yeah, and Trudeau's people are freezing bank accounts, even going after crypto, actually, at the moment, which is semi-legal, what they're doing. Amasong, speaking of New Hampshire, when are they in Vermont going to fix the Vilas Bridge in Bellows Falls? It's been closed for ages. Well, if you've got the state government of Vermont involved in anything, it'll take years and it'll be over budget. And it'll take 10 times longer than you expected. The state government of Vermont is a joke when it comes to infrastructure. Pansexual, non-binary, Orthodox Christian. All the truckers should come out as transgendered and they will get everything that they're demanding. That's why I became transgendered, so I can take advantage of the privileges. Yeah, it'd be funny if they started putting on wigs or something like that and playing the idpol game. Now, you can't do anything against us. We're woke now. We're fighting for communism. I don't understand it. Originally, we were fighting against mandates, but now we've seen the light of Marx, and they should start flying anarchist flags or something like that. That'd be funny as hell. You'd see there would probably be a switch in the tactics used to deal with them. I guess they're trying to sue right now for, what was it, 300 million Canadian dollars or something. They're trying to name individual truckers. Effectively, they're just trying to abuse all the people that were there. I talked about the other day how funny it would be if someone took a drone and they had a little toy truck dangling from it with a speaker that made honking sounds. Well, I mean, it's not a real truck. It's not impeding traffic. You can keep the honking up in definitely legal ways. Dr. Zeodin, crawl out through the fallout, baby, when they drop that bomb. U.S. troops are moving into border counties here in Germany, the U.S. Army. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Biden continues to warmonger. Joe Biden's dentures. This $5 is to keep you off the NFT stripper pole. Just breaking balls. I don't even know what an NFT is. Yeah, Canada has gone full honk. Yes, that's another thing I wanted to talk about, but I couldn't fit it into the fucking title. People not liking the NFT idea earlier today. Again, I don't know. I don't consider it sleazy or a scam or anything like that. You're offering something that has value to some people and they buy it if they want to. But when I see a significant proportion of the audience, whether it's a large minority or even possibly near a majority, that don't like something that I'm doing, of course I'll be receptive to that because I give a shit. The whole point is to make videos and to write books and stuff for the masses, for the clankers. So if people have a problem with the things that I'm doing, if it's just like one or two people are bitching, I don't care. If it's a lot of people, then I do care, obviously, as a content creator. That's a whole fucking point. Nick Ray, howdy from Ohio. Congrats on the kid. Here's to hoping these protesters win the war after already winning the battle. Yeah, the truckers technically did win because they forced Trudeau to do exactly what people said he wouldn't do years ago, you know, in the early wave of the honk honk period. They said, well, there's no authoritarianism here. All we're asking you to do is wear a mask once in a while. Well, how things have changed as far as Canada goes. The second people protest, all of a sudden it looks like Iraq or Syria. Adonis Adams, I'm 20th birthday is about a month from now. What advice would you give someone like me just entering adulthood? Work really, really hard while you've got the energy to do so. That's the best advice you can give. Take your hobbies and turn them into marketable skills. Vorvox, may Russians be victorious against the United States of diversity. Well, I stand with the United States, being from the United States. I'm not pro-Russia. I think that's the stereotype of anyone that doesn't want to start World War III, and that's probably part of the problem. Fire down below. What do you think the result is going to be with the Trump's upcoming legal battle in New York? Well, Donald Trump doesn't have to give a shit. His residency is Florida. His official residency is the Mar-a-Lago, so he's outside their jurisdiction. If they want to drag a couple of his kids in there to mumble for an hour, they can. Just a second here. Yeah, on Rumble. Hey guys, it's just 2 weeks to slow the spread, am I right? By Midwest Gunner. Yeah, that seems to have been a lie. I wonder why the government would lie to everyone. Zeem the Despot, as someone who uses new tech a lot, how would you convince YouTube users to move over to those sites? I watch quite a few Star Wars lore channels, and only a couple of them have presences on those sites. Hammer the content creators constantly and tell them it's in their best interest fiscally, because that's honestly what a lot of them care about, the money. Tell them it's in your fiscal interest to just at least, most of these sites will automatically take the material that you're making on YouTube and collate it to their sites anyway. It doesn't take you any additional effort. If that's all you want to do, it's a mistake, but if that's all you want to do, you can do it. Steady Eddie 1983. How did we go from both sides cheering for the guy at Tiananmen Square to being sharply divided against people protesting for freedom in Ottawa? But that was over there. They're supposed to face riots. We're not supposed to face these things. The good, kind, law-abiding people of the Americas should never have to deal with hearing a honk that they don't want to hear. It's not in my backyard. They should have to hear it over there, overseas where it belongs, right? Raul Duke, thank you for appreciating us as we appreciate you on NFTs. And congrats to you and your wife's new addition. Well, thank you very much. Again, I personally do not have a problem with NFTs. I do not consider them inherently scammy or anything like that. But when a significant proportion of the audience is saying, you shouldn't do this, I'm going to take that into consideration. If it was something that I had deeply held principles on, like let's say the majority of my audience said, okay, it's time to take ad revenue. Well, I would say, fuck off. Go ahead and unsubscribe if you don't want to see ads or something, because that's a deeply held belief. When people tell me to change my username, take off the 666 so that I can show you to my boomer parents and they won't be offended. I don't care. If they're offended, fuck them. And you don't need to share the material out to people who obviously won't get it anyway because of their small minds. Something like a side project, like, a small batch of NFTs, it's not something that I'm willing to die on the hill for, so to speak. It's just not as important. I like the idea. I thought it was funny. I think the idea of having some fan art out there that people can purchase and they can have on their digital repertoire or something, I thought it was hilarious more than anything else. It's certainly not scammy or grifty, but if a significant enough group of people have a problem with it, I'm like, well, yeah, let me alienate a significant minority of my audience in order to make money that technically is not even the point of the NFT thing. Salty Ironworker, you by far foresee things better than anyone else I watch. So I'd like to ask you, as far as a civil war, do you believe we're currently in one, or one is coming like several other creators are yapping about lately? Thank you for all you do. No, I don't think that we're in the midst of a civil war. I think a civil war would require an enemy that's actually capable of lifting more than a can of Soylent. So no, I don't believe so, no, which is good. Sebastian Monroe, congrats to you and Liz. Be wary that the left is a parasitic class and rely on brainwashed kids to maintain their numbers since they don't have kids. Yeah, that's true, although most of them appear to be middle-aged at this point. Maybe 10 years ago, they were the younger generation. Now, I don't think so. Alex Rose, Tarl, is there any future in satanic or black metal, or just a sad shadow joke? Love your books, by the way. I like black metal. There's probably still a huge amount of underground black metal. It's just, you got to understand the emergence of that as sort of a meme-worthy, as sort of like grindcore, actually, as sort of a meme-worthy song style coincides with early wave YouTube. Number one, that didn't have a problem with the often overtly sexualized covers. And number two, actually with a lot of blogs that spread material. There was a depressive black metal blog spot and a suicidal black metal blog spot that I followed years and years ago. And then they had the thing with Mega Upload, and the feds downed that. And unfortunately, all the music went away. Only a few of the musical blogs survived. I know the No Longer Forgotten Music blog they adapted. And by the way, definitely visit that. No Longer Forgotten Music blog spot. Excellent material. Give them some love, because my hope is that they keep releasing material. A lot of old 2000s, 90s, and 80s experimental, especially some dark wave and a few other things. Really interesting material. The miscellany there is considerable. But those blogs, the blogosphere was the lifeblood of the underground movement of black metal. And that got destroyed by and large, unfortunately. The people of Canada, Sticks for Canada, we wrote you in as a candidate. Yes, actually on the 22nd, 3 days from now, I will be announcing something politically that I think that people will find way, way more meme-worthy and funny than the NFT thing. So stay tuned. It involves running for office for every office in the world, actually. Lions Talk with Micro Mike by Chat Sports. Appreciate you, Sticks. Started my YouTube channel because of you at 20K now, killing the legacy media. Yes, the more the merrier. Keep making content. That's my dude. Silver Bully, or Dudette. I don't know. I won't presume gender. Silver Bully, thanks for commercial-free content. Yes, there are no ads on my videos unless YouTube forces them to be there. Fire down below. What do you think about the FBI forming a national cryptocurrency unit for seizure of Bitcoin and other blockchain? Inevitable. And another, by the way, this will sound counterintuitive to people. More evidence that cryptocurrency is a good thing. When the feds start taking it seriously for criminal purposes, they're legitimizing it. It's just like when banks start dabbling in it. This is years old at this point. The second that big corporations started dabbling in cryptocurrency, it became legitimized. This will actually make more larger businesses pile on to cryptocurrency potentially, thus massively increasing the demand, while the supply remains throttled, let's face it, because they'll think, well, if I make this investment, the feds are involved, the government's involved, regulations involved, it's safe. It's a safe investment. Well, that's when it really skyrockets. You've only seen, I think, and this is disclaimer, this is not official fiscal advice for investment purposes. I think you've only seen the tip of the iceberg, probably only the tip of the tip. Samantha Sargent, love your vids, always happy to support your work. Well, thank you very much. Opinionated Junkie, thank you for calling out the turncoat anti-SJWs. Yes, it is funny to see them ignore their former non-censorship views. It's more of a lie by omission than anything else. It's not that they're supporting censorship usually. It's just that the reason why they're even known was, hey, I happen to be on the left, but I hate censorship. Fuck the state. They don't do that anymore. Now they just do memes. And most of them aren't funny because they're leftists. Baron Van Blair, 4 baby socks. Thank you. You can never get enough of those. Socks tend to go missing fairly frequently here, especially mine, and I think the cats probably have a mountain of them. Spencer Goodfellow, thanks for all the hard work, Sticks. Thank you very much. Opinionated Junkie, consoles and GPUs overpriced on eBay. Damn it. Now they will be forever. Steady Eddie 1983. Do you think the left's ultimate goal is a leftist one-party system? That would explain why they're not allowed to question or protest against them. No, they don't want a one-party system. They've learned from the past failures of Marxism. They want a one-ideology system. There'll still be Republicans in office if they get their way. It's just they'll be Bush Republicans, controlled opposition. Oh, no, I have no problem with the gun control that already exists. Just don't pass more. and then they'll lose, and they'll lose with grace, and they'll tell everyone else that they need to be graceful. Bow your head, fuck the Constitution, all that shit. Bow your head with solemnity. You fought the good fight. Just don't do anything rash. Just acknowledge the fact that, you know, the Constitution has been irreparably eroded and do nothing about it. Controlled op horseshit. Horwitz, Feinberg, and Horwitz for the little bundle of sticks. Lol. Well, thank you very much. Axel Rose. I finally found my jacket, missing since 1992. I think there was another chat on Rumble. Fifi Brindaseer 3. And I'll try to get to it. My apologies, but remember, Rumble has not yet fixed its chat system here. Trudeau cabinet minister tweeted in support of the freedom fighters in Hong Kong yesterday. Yeah, the irony is significant. The irony is always there. Kirk Raider, type 1 if you're a Fed. I'll type 666. Does that make me 666 Feds? Maybe inside of the skin is actually an entire colony of glowing ones, and they're like piloting me like a meat robot. And they will keep sticks from getting annoyed if you make the cats outside. Yeah, unfortunately, if you put the cats outside and close the door, they'll just sit by the door and meow at you, so it's just as annoying. Yana still has her pissing problem, unfortunately. I cleaned up, what was it? I think 3 piss spots today. It's becoming a bigger issue than I had wanted to deal with. Proud-a-babe. Trudeau has suspended Parliament. There will be no debate over the Emergencies Act. Not sure if there will be a vote on Monday about ending it. Our PM should resign, but I feel his ego won't allow it. Oh, he won't resign. He's not going to go anywhere. He's got enough party loyalists to stay in power. He knows it. And so he's going to do the boot heel thing. It's up to the Canadian people to do something about that. Will they? Well, the truckers did, and a lot of the Canadian people bitched and whined because I can't get to sleep at night because of the honking. I realize that's Ottawa. It's an urban area. If the truckers were smart, I think what they would do is they would abscond from their current location, and then they would wait while things settle down, and then they would go back. Just set up again and again. After you got the order to leave, you left, then you came back. Well, you're not violating the order until you're told to leave again. You could do that over and over if you had enough income, enough cash flow. They don't have any problem getting crypto from the more underground channels. Batman, love your videos, but when are we going to get some Spoon Clank ASMR? ASMR has been destroyed as a medium. If you look it up now, it's all a bunch of mukbangs and bright colors. It's no longer as talented as it was when it was more of an underground thing. I wrote a book on ASMR and the occult, actually, and talking about some of the sonic occultism of even antiquity and how it really did overlap with ASMR. That's not it anymore. Other than a handful of priority creators that still make the old style of content, it's all a bunch of horseshit now. It's not even worth watching. I don't know where people would get for good ASMR at this point anyway. It wouldn't be YouTube. YouTube search feature is horseshit too. Johnny Azul. One of Epstein's talent scouts found dead in a French jail today. The Clintons, CIA, Mossad, MI6. Yes, I did see. What was his name? Just a sec. I've got it. This will be a main video for tomorrow, by the way, so don't worry. Yes, it was a Jean-Luc Brunel held in a Paris prison, and at about 1 o'clock in the morning, he hanged himself. And yeah, it honk honk. He totally killed himself. Nobody else was involved. I mean, it's so obvious what's happening. Basically, anyone who can't be counted on not to flip, who can't be counted on not to give at least a few of the names up is dying. Well, normally this sort of thing would cause an investigation because it would be like the moonshine days. They'd be saying, well, some mafioso must be involved with all these so-called suicides. Why don't we look into it? But the thing is that the people would have to look into it. They're part of the same establishment. Greg May sent 5, I think, Canadian dollars. No comment, thank you. Some jerk sent $20, also no comment. So thank you as well, some jerk. Yeah, fucking jerk. John Cordisco's Corner. Still plugging away with content even though the shadow banning is getting worse. Hold the line. Yes, it's important to keep making content, but one thing that you can do, if you're a content creator and you're mainly using like YouTube, Facebook, something like that, make sure to get a presence on new tech. That's number one. Now link those out on the content you make on the non-new tech things, like on YouTube. Every single video that I have in the description, it has links to all of these other sites. Thirdly, at least occasionally talk about it. There are so many content creators with so much talent, the people that I respect, people that I've talked to interpersonally, not in real life, but online, like through DMs and shit. They have a BitChute channel. They have an account on Gab and all of these other things, and they make one video talking about it. And by the way, never even link it out in some cases through further videos. And that's just the video side. I can't even imagine the social media side. Greg May, Sticks, lots of people waiting on Rumble. Had to hop back to here. I'm live on Rumble right now. Almost 1,000 people are watching. I don't know exactly what you mean, my dude. By the way, Rumble, I do believe, for those of you on Rumble, I'm speaking to you directly, is going to explode with growth in about 3 days when Truth Social is launched. That's because Trump and all of his people, guess what native video system they're using? They're using Rumble. So all of those millions and millions of Trump fans, I realize some of them may be boomers or whatever. Your mom might be on there. It's going to be a lot of people, though, and they're going to find out about this new video hosting platform they never heard before. Dutch West Indian Company. I made a witch hunter cartoon in the style of 17th century woodcuts. Would love to illustrate your book. I have hired an illustrator for the current slew of works, but you can send that to me because I'm always looking out for people to make special content potentially for future releases. I do have one work on occultism and censorship, actually, that I've already done the forward for and the outline. I will be releasing that at some point in the fairly immediate future, probably next month. I've got several other of my own self-titled works that I'm working on. And once all of the edited works are done through edition 400, which isn't long from now because half of those are literally done and I'm just waiting for the illustrator because Amazon was being fucky, I will be doing a lot more of my own work. Philosophical and political pamphlets, number one. Re-editing all my old works, number two. Mama Babs, dang, I'm late. Hiya, Sticks. Hiya, chat. Yes, hello to everyone on Twitch. It's funny, you can be more frank about the 2020 election on Twitch than on YouTube. I guess they don't have a rule against reality. You should join me on Twitch, by the way, regardless on what platform you're on. Help me to be famous, or something like that. Midwest Gunner, how do you suggest encouraging more non-political normie content creators to move over to new tech? Well, you got to realize if you look, for example, at YouTube's algorithms, it is not, the perception is it's aimed at people who do news, politics, stuff like that, socio-political content. All you have to do is convince them that that's not the case, and it would be correct. You're not lying to them. This involves the algorithms favoring people who have priority status. YouTube has granted priority status to more than just news and politics creators. We're talking celebrities, people who do like challenges, people who do gaming, people who do fucking makeup tutorials, everything under the sun. There's one or more priority creators under that umbrella. If you look up any content roughly similar to any subtopic within those genres, you will see their content generally first. If you look up someone else's content, you will see that priority content in related videos generally first. When people look at my videos, they used to see like Stefan Molyneux or Dave Cullen or Paul Joseph Watson or something in the related videos. Now it's a slew of Fox News and CNN. It's people that we directly compete with. John Cordisco again, Cordisco's Corner. Devin Nunes said 2 days ago that Truth Social should be ready End of March. Oh, they've pushed it back. I thought it was going to be in a few days, actually. They've got their beta testing done. I thought it was, February 21st. I think it was actually technically going to be going fully live. Matthew Hammond, can you talk to V about doing new tech exclusives? He complains that he is not expanding his new tech reach, but he never mentions it. You have to mention that to him then. Just tell him, look, Styx sent me. Make exclusives on Odyssey or Rumble. Get a second BitChute channel. Do a live stream. Chicken Tendies. How likely is DeSantis to run in 24? Shapiro, Cernovich, and others strongly back him to Trump. Will MAGA sit out if he beats Trump somehow? DeSantis has already effectively said he won't run if Trump does. If Trump does not run, he's the front runner. I would support DeSantis. I don't like all of his views. I think he was pro-red flag laws, but that's not far beyond where Trump was, arguably. On guns, the populist movement has not been quite as beefy as on free speech or the border. I'd back him. I don't think that he would beat Trump if they were both running. I mean, if DeSantis tries to run against Trump, I think Trump wins. And I will support Trump if he runs. I voted for him twice already. I'd gladly vote for him a third time. Bobby Lane, hey Styx, it's not police brutality if the Mounties horse is doing the trampling, right? How do you think we will deal with the honking in the U.S.? Well, state governors, by and large, control the state guards and police and so forth that would respond. A lot of those states support the truckers. A little bit different than in Canada, where you have a much more top-down system. Sebastian Monroe, read the lyrics to Disturbed's Vengeful One. There's parallels to the lyrics and current events. Disturbed released that album in the summer of 2015. Yeah, they seem to do a lot of politically tinted material, actually. Sempi35. Any thoughts on the $14,000 OSHA mask mandate fines here in the U.S.? The fine hasn't been issued to anyone yet, but it could be if no one starts talking about it. Workers need to be aware of it so they don't get caught off guard. There is no mask mandate fine. That was shot down by the courts. If you're talking about healthcare workers, again, they can issue the fine, but if they lose a significant proportion of healthcare workers, it's not going to do very well. Johnny Azul, BLM bailed out on the Louisville mayoral candidate shooter. Sigh. Yeah, I saw that. A BLM member tried to kill that person as well. Fire down below. Rumor Truth Social got pushed back to the end of March. I haven't seen any confirmation of that. If someone has confirmation coming from Trump or his inner circle especially, or Devin Nunes or something, DM me on Twitter if you can. That'd be an interesting story to cover. Freedom Autopsy Report. Styx, what do you think of a convention of states? 38 states can take power away from the miscreant, corrupt, and insane status quo. I support the idea, and I think they're only one state house away from that number, actually, at the moment. So that would be pretty good. Opinionated Junkie. Scalpers will be dealt with regulation in the future. I don't know exactly what you mean, but yeah. Ticket scalpers? People who go around and literally take the scalps off people's heads? Could be either. Basically the same thing, I guess. Steve Taylor asking, do you get along with Salty? Yes, I like Salty. Salty Cracker. I'm competing with him. He is still bigger than me on Rumble, I believe. Although I think I still have the advantage on BitChute. So, Clankdom cannot lose. We cannot afford to fail. Shunned 4000 on Twitch. A mandate is when your government fucks you in the ass and you go thank you. Yeah, that seems to be about how it works. Yeah. Goosey Lou 2 sent $9.99 without a comment. Thank you very much. By the way, since this is an inaugural stream, it will be a bit shorter than the Sunday stream. The main Q&A stream really is tomorrow for people. I'm thinking about the form and function of the Saturday stream, how it will sort of be. I think I'll keep it shorter unless I decide to do gaming, but then I'd have to set things up, and that would be difficult because I'm a Luddite. Otherwise, it'll just be me ranting mostly. I'll still react to super chats and stuff, but a little bit more truncated, I suppose. Almost 2,000 people watching on YouTube. We got almost 1,200 on Rumble, by the way. So that's pretty good. I realize on Saturday, most people Eastern time, it's barely 9 a.m. I realize that most of my US audience is not awake at this point. If I did this 5 hours later, there'd be twice as many people. But the problem is by 5 hours later, I've eaten dinner. I'm like comatose. I want to play Skyrim or something. And so unless I'm doing a gaming stream and being sardonic about politics by default, a little bit more difficult. Free the Republic 1 on Rumble. Why isn't your hair longer? Because I got it cut, I don't know, a year ago, a year and a half or something. It will continue to grow. Yeah, Salty got 23K on Rumble last night. Yes, definitely. But he has more of an advantage when it comes to the streaming side of things. I do more of the one-off. I think he's kind of more like the quartering, or is it when it comes to the actual format of content. Blood on the Blade. The protest is a failure. Trudeau won't back down, and revolution is the future in Canada. I hope Canadians can get armed once that happens. And I probably can't read the rest of that, although I agree with you. Yes, I would agree. The protest there is not going to overthrow the Canadian government or something, but that wasn't really the point anyway. The truckers won in the sense that they forced Trudeau to use the Emergency Powers Act, exposing his authoritarianism. That I think was part of the point. The good stuff. What do you think about Jordan Peterson's views on Jesus and the lessons from the Bible? I think more about his views on steak. I think he likes it more the way I like it than that Razorfist does. So I agree with him on that. Freedom Autopsy Report. Styx is God. Batman. When will the Canadian geese join the honkening? Yeah, I don't know. When do they migrate back? March or April or something? That would be funny. Oh, people will be making memes about that. That's for sure. Tux the Penguin. Styx, would you ever go on Timcast with Tim Pool? Yes, I have already tacitly accepted that. It's just I'm not in the US, so I can't get to, I think, West Virginia, where he is at the moment. They don't do remote. They only do in person, so it'll take a while because I'm in the Netherlands. I'm in the eastern side of the Netherlands right now. Thomas Finton. I like Salty, although he gives me Sargon of Akkad Pepe Chatelet vibes of hip with the hop. Then again, who really knows what is hip anymore with the decentralized culture that we have? I don't have any problem with the Pepe Chatelet sort of thing. I thought it was great. Still is. It'll come back if Hillary is actually the 24 candidate. Oh, it would be just as meme-worthy as in 2016. Probably better. Domestic terrorist. Hi, Styx. Are you and Liz going to put out a list of prezzies we can get for you and your baby? Would love to get something for her or him. Enjoy the last few sleepful nights. No, there is no baby gift registry or anything like that. I don't know. I'm not really into that sort of thing. R Strong. Salty has a good method for moving people over to alt tech. Starts a stream on YouTube, Rumble, or Odyssey, then kills YouTube an hour in and directs people to alt tech for the rest. People start going to alt tech first. Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. My strategy is usually every day I mention I'm on these other platforms. I get almost 76,000 people following on Rumble. It's actually incredible, the number of people. I think within a week, I'll have more people following me than InfoWars does. Definitely the growth is there. And whenever Truth Social goes live, it'll be, probably 10 times more. I think that we're at a good position now, but yeah, that's not a bad idea, but then I'd have to do longer streams too. Today, it's more truncated. This is the inaugural Saturday stream, so I won't be doing that today. Emily C. Baby Bjorn carriers are excellent because they keep your hands free. Aren't those the ones where you're basically carrying your baby like rifle armor? Don't shoot me, shoot the baby. Yeah, I don't know. I'd use just a stroller. Elmar001. Hey, Styx, who do you think Trump will pick as his VP for his second term? If he runs, and possibly will, and wins, which he probably will if he does actually run, I don't know. DeSantis is in the running, but I think if two people are both from the same state, I don't think that he could be the running mate. Rand Paul would be my my preference. By the way, please don't send any more super chats because I will be ending this a little bit early today. This was the first Saturday super chat Q&A I've done. The good stuff. In college, took a girl on a date. Her non-binary roommate brainwashed her, and now she thinks she is non-binary. I can already see the ideology turn from her from a gorgeous model to female golem. Well, maybe they're getting it on together, so, you know, whatever. Everyone should do exactly what makes them feel happy in that sense. Just hopefully there's no propaganda involved. Ryan McKenna, Jean-Luc Brunel didn't kill himself. I agree. I think he was clearly murdered, just like Epstein was murdered. And we'll never get any closure, just to be clear. I'm not saying that there will be a serious investigation. Over on Rumble, Resident Bedouin, Bill Maher released a video today that had direct quotes from Vivek Ramaswamy's Woke Inc., who was on his show last week, and Bill's trained SEALs actually applauded. Oh, sounds good. And then Liberty Hardcore. Hello, Sticks. I'm a longtime supporter, and I appreciate your content. Please give my Rumble channel a shout-out. Liberty Hardcore. I do drum covers of bass hardcore and punk music. Okay, Liberty Hardcore over on Rumble. You should give them a follow. So, yes, this has been the inaugural Saturday show. I will end it early here. I'll probably go longer next Saturday. It's still touch and go because I'm not used to streaming, 2 days in a row, and there are so many things going on, especially book related. But I am plowing through that, making a lot of headway. So in the preliminary sense, you can expect 2 streams a week now instead of just 1. And one last super chat. Maxwell Schulz, are you interested in 6 Days in Fallujah game that's coming out later this year? I've literally never heard of that. I'm not much into gaming culture. I still play Skyrim, so I still play SimCity 3000 and Corporation Incorporated and Bloons Tower Defense 5. I'm not exactly on the cutting edge of gaming, except Bethesda makes an announcement about the next Fallout. All right, that will do it for today. Again, next Saturday, I will do another stream, probably still working out the schedule and everything like that, the format as well. That's about all. Peace